So I recently got an opportunity to visit an event where Shri Nitin Gadkari sir was also a chief guest. This particular event was all about compressed biogas. Now, whoever potential CBG project developer I met there, the first biggest question that they had was how much amount of money will it cost them to install a CBG plant? This was the most asked question in that entire conference. Now friends, one thing I want to highlight is that we need to understand that CBG plants are of two types: Brownfield CBG projects and greenfield CBG projects. Brownfield CBG project is a project which a particular industry is installing. For example, a sugar mill is installing a CBG plant, a distillery is installing a CBG plant, maybe a food processing company is installing a CBG plant. That will be categorized under the Brownfield project category. As the name suggests, this particular CBG project is being installed as an extension to an already functional factory, right? Whereas when we talk about the greenfield projects, greenfield project, as the name suggests, currently it's a bare green land that is available, and everything that needs to be done has to start from scratch. Whether we have to even construct the boundary wall around that particular project, whether we have to supply the electricity, water, everything needs to be done from scratch. Now, the cost of installing a brownfield project versus a greenfield project will be slightly lower, or in some case it will be significantly lower, okay? Because we need to understand that if an industry which is already having certain setup, they are installing a particular project as an extension to their existing plant, they will, the cost of, a lot of things will be extremely low. They don't need to put up utilities separately. They don't need to hire additional manpower to set up the project. So there are so many variables when it comes to installing a greenfield project versus a brownfield project. Now let's say you are a private entrepreneur who wants to develop a greenfield CBG project. Now the first and foremost thing that you are supposed to do is that first you need to identify a region, or you must be having the land where you have thought of installing the particular CBG plant. Now after that, you have to get the technical economic feasibility report done for that respective land that you have identified or the region that you have identified. Now, having a technical economic feasibility report will help you with the right answers. Okay, so let's say that how much feedstock you can possibly gather in that particular region for your CBG project. That is one crucial question that you need to answer. How that gas will be sold, at what price it will be sold, what are the potential risk parameters involved in that respective piece of land that you have identified. So there are so many nitty-gritties. Whenever we are installing a greenfield CBG project, the technical economic feasibility report becomes absolutely necessary. Now let's say that once the feasibility is sorted, then you can go to the detailed costings of the CBG plant. Okay, now when you go to the market, you may find a lot of CBG project developers who are giving you some costings. But we need to understand that if you are installing a greenfield CBG project, the actual cost will only be determined after a full-fledged technical economic feasibility report. If your consultant or your biogas supplier is not recommending you that, do not proceed forward without it. Because trust me when I say this, there have been many instances today when we go to the market, we see there are people struggling that their CBG plants are not operational properly, their capacities are not being utilized properly, the gas that they're producing, they're having some challenges in selling that. So all those questions, it's better that you answer before setting up the plant rather than regretting it later. Okay, so if any CBG project supplier who wants to sell their equipment to you, they will never talk about these things of, going for a risk analysis, going for potential business case scenarios. जो सप्लायर है उसको अपनी मशीन बेचनी है, तो वो आपको सही गाइड शायद ना करें. आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि बिल्कुल नहीं करेगा, मार्केट में सारे CBG सप्लायर्स खराब हैं, बट देयर आर अ लॉट ऑफ सप्लायर्स हु अल्टीमेटली दे जस्ट वांट टू सेल देयर इक्विपमेंट टू यू. सो if you are a greenfield project developer, especially, first hire a proper consultant who has some experience in this particular sector. If you want to work with us, we are very happy. We are working in the CBG space since year 2010. हमने जो पहला CBG plant लगाया था 2010 में दिल्ली गवर्नमेंट के साथ लगाया था, followed by several other projects that we have been doing. Now हमने brownfield projects में extensively काम कर रहा है. ग्रीनफील्ड प्रोजेक्ट्स में हमारा एक्सपीरियंस कंपैरेटिवली कम है. However, having said that, now when we started doing greenfield project starting from 2023, the first thing we realized that जो CBG project developer है, they are not the technical experts in 90% of the cases. So in that case, CBG project developer should focus on identifying the right consultant who can hold their fingers and help them from concept to commissioning stage. Now, a lot of people they come to us and they say that आपने उस शुगर मिल के साथ काम कर रहा था, आपने उतने प्राइस पे प्लांट लगा दिया. देखो, अब मैं आपको यहाँ पे एक प्रैक्टिकल एग्जांपल बताता हूँ. One of our clients, he installed a 2.5 TPD plant at 11 crores. This was the exact costing that I'm telling you. Okay. At the same time, one of the sugar mills that we are working with, वो 11 करोड़ में लगभग 5 TPD का प्लांट लगा रहे हैं. बट वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड ये जो 11 करोड़ में 5 टीपीडी का प्लांट लगा रहे हैं, इसमें एक बैक स्टोरी है जो बहुत लोगों को नहीं पता होती. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, द डाइजेस्टर्स और वी कॉल इट बायोरिएक्टर्स दैट दे आर यूजिंग, उनके ऑलरेडी खाली टैंक्स पड़े हुए थे, वो उसको भी यूटिलाइज कर रहे हैं प्लांट लगाने के लिए. ओके, दे हैड अ लॉट ऑफ when they were commissioning their distillery, उनके बहुत सारे पंप्स हैं, उनके बहुत सारे इलेक्ट्रिकल कंपोनेंट्स थे, ऑटोमेशन कंपोनेंट थे, वो बच गए थे उनके पास. सो उनके पास वो मटेरियल ऑलरेडी पड़ा था. तो आप जस्ट बिकॉज आपने हमारा वर्क ऑर्डर देखा दैट हमने 11 करोड़ में उनका 4-5 टीपीडी का प्लांट लगा रहे हैं, तो इट डजंट मीन कि आपके लिए भी वो केस वैलिड होगा. सो वी नीड टू बी वेरी रैशनल अबाउट इट दैट every CBG plant is a separate, tailor-made business case. Okay, let's say a person setting up a CBG plant in Uttar Pradesh, वहाँ पे उसको सब्सिडी सेंटर से भी मिल रही है, स्टेट से भी मिल रही है. So you cannot compare that with someone who is planning to set up a CBG plant, let's say in Maharashtra, जहाँ पे स्टेट सब्सिडी नहीं मिल रही है. सो यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट इफ यू आर प्लानिंग टू स्टार्ट योर ओन CBG project, hire a professional consultant who has some experience in this particular sector. Rather, I would say, talk to 8 to 10 consultants before finalizing. Okay, once we are satisfied, don't think of cutting that consultant down and directly work with the equipment suppliers, because equipment suppliers may not tell you the right story. Okay, a right consultant who has some good name in the market and who wants your project to succeed will always be beneficial for you. And I always give this analogy that आप डॉक्टर के पास जाते हैं जब आप बीमार होते हैं, तो आप उसकी राय पे आप अपनी दवाई लेना शुरू करते हैं. जब वो सर्जरी के लिए अगर रेकमेंड करता है तो आप वो सर्जरी करवाने के लिए सोचते हैं. सो यू नीड अ डॉक्टर टू गेट दैट सर्जरी डन. आपको अगर अपना हार्ट का ऑपरेशन कराना है तो आप आपका खुद का ऑपरेशन नहीं कर पाएंगे. करेक्ट? Similarly, if you are planning to set up, a CBG plant for that matter, get a professional consultant on board who can prevent a lot of damages for you. बहुत लोगों को लगता है यार ये हम कंसल्टेशन फीस अभी दे देंगे, इसके बाद ये नहीं हुआ, वो नहीं हुआ. A lot of people we also interact with, they have this apprehension. But we always recommend that hire a professional consultant who can help you in successfully establishing your project. With this, I hope this video was informational. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel, and I will make sure that the right content related to CBG reaches you. I will see you in the next one.